Hey, I guess he can hear me? Got it, okay, good. So this is the meeting of the Community Preservation Committee, Tuesday, August 26th, 2025. We're convening here in the Mashpee Town Hall, Wacoit Meeting Room at 6:30. This meeting is being recorded. It's not broadcast live, but it will be broadcast on Channel 8 eventually. Just look at the calendar. I don't know when that will be. So our first item of business, as always, is public comment, but I do not see anybody in the audience, so we can move on from that. Minutes. So 3 sets of minutes were sent out today. I'm pretty sure that March had been sent out previously, but I'll ask you guys if you feel ready to vote on. Does anybody feel ready to vote on March 27th minutes? Did you get a chance to review them?
I think that was not where I found
I haven't had time to review.
Okay.
I sort of glanced at that one, and it has a lot of errors in it, because it's like my name all through it, like I was the chairman. So that's my only comment. I didn't really get a chance to look at the others.
Okay. Why don't we'll hold off on all the minutes?
Okay.
Okay, is that okay? Maybe if you could, note somewhere on the minutes what your changes are, and we can, so we can discuss them at the next meeting.
Okay.
And I know you had a couple of
One of them had
typos.
the chair closing the meeting, adjourning the meeting, and that chair's name was Harris. So I didn't know.
Be the same one, because my name was all.
She's, I know she's struggling with who's who.
Yeah.
Right. So,
Which
anyway,
is
I
maybe
won't-
something
I
else we
didn't
can
get a
put
chance to write it
on the
down.
agenda, is following up on those, on getting nameplates again, which we had started at one point, but I know she was having trouble remembering.
Do you want me to make nameplates? I can make paper nameplates, I do them all the
You do?
time.
Yeah, why don't you do that?
Or name tag.
I shall do that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Take a file folder.
okay, so we will hold off, but let's try to be ready at the next meeting, since these are a little bit old at this point. We have no appointments and hearings. We have a number of items of new business. So our most important item tonight is that we need to vote on the set-asides for the CPA funds for October town meeting. So this is the dollar amount that I received from the finance director. The 10% allocations are $136,445 for each of those. And then the budgeted reserve fund is $905,108. So we need to set that aside.
Madam
Yes,
Chair,
sure.
when did you receive those? The reason I ask is they were incorrect at the select board meeting.
Okay, that's very funny, because I asked for the warrant article to make sure that the warrant article matched the numbers that I got, but
Well, it may be corrected, but
She-
it wasn't,
Christine sent it to me this week, so if it was
the
incorrect
10
last night.
I don't know if it was corrected last night or not. I didn't look at it again last night. Just, if you look at the total amount and then look at what the 10% is.
Yeah.
Just to see that those match quickly.
Well, they don't match, you know why? I'll tell you why they don't match. Like,
Okay.
10% of 905 would be $90,000, right? So the budgeted reserve,
No.
Okay.
When you look at I understand that.
Yeah, yeah.
But when you look at I don't have anything in front of me,
Sure.
the total amount, and you're looking at what 10% of the total amount was, that wasn't actually 10% when we got the figures. So if it is now and we're good to go, I just wanted you to look at it, because there was an error.
But it's not too late to correct that, right?
No.
Okay.
No, but I thought if we're voting on it tonight, to just look to see if we have the correct amounts, that's all.
so,
Get your calculator out.
where would the total amount be that I would?
Okay.
Oh, here, okay, I see from that, so FY appropriation, 10% budget reserve.
What amount did you just read off? 136,445?
Yes, it was 36.4 something.
What number did you read off for the 10%?
I read 136,445.
Okay, that's what was in
The article,
the Article
Yes.
Draft 4.
yes.
All right,
That's-
so you're saying this was incorrect?
I'm saying if you look at the total amount, you
Yeah.
should be able to see if it's 10%.
Total FY 2026 appropriation to the 10% reserve and budget for appropriation reserve is $1,314,443.
Say that again, Arden, I'm sorry. 1 million?
$1,314,443.
So that's,
136,445, yeah.
that's not the same.
Is that 10%?
No,
10% would be 100 and,
$1,100 difference, I think.
The numbers are,
how about we
Is it-
take a vote?
Was there
to-
administrative money?
Oh, I see, the
Included in
total
that?
appropriation is 131444.
So those amounts would come out of the budgeted for reserve, the 905 that I mentioned. The reason that the budgeted for reserve is a
Okay.
little bit lower is because 50,000 comes out for admin funds, and then there's also a, there's an amount due for borrowing that comes out every year that's not
You're
available
paying
to
off
us,
our
that we're
debt.
paying off our debt, so that's not available. So those amounts come out of the budgeted for reserve. But how about if we just take a vote to set aside the 10% for each of the purposes on the most current number, on the most current amount provided to us by the finance director without stating a number, and hopefully that vote is sufficient? Because I mean, this came,
I don't
So
know.
is the higher number is the higher number the 136,445?
136,445
So
isn't.
what if we do a motion that
she's
would
saying that
be,
the total for appropriation,
Right.
right?
But she's saying
so
that-
what if we say that we appropriate up to
You have to vote on this tonight?
136,445 for the three categories, the three 10% categories? Like that number up to,
Not to exceed.
not to exceed 10% reserves and budget for the fiscal year appropriation and reserve. Would that do it?
Or just 10%?
10% of the total
Because we always
appropriation.
tell-
I'll let you make that
Yeah,
motion.
yeah, yeah.
But we have to be sure that they have something in writing that has the right amount.
For sure, I mean, it was discussed publicly at the select board meeting? Somebody mentioned it to the town manager, do you think?
Yes. Not at last night's select board meeting, at the select board meeting, the previous select board meeting. So that should be corrected, if it's not. It should
I
be
will
checked.
obviously follow up tomorrow with Christine, who is working on the draft warrant, to coordinate with Dawn Thayer and see which of these numbers is incorrect. And maybe it's not the 10%, maybe the 1314 is a typo or a mistake, right? Right,
I
right.
don't know. I know there was.
Somebody questions
error.
the math. Mhm.
I make a motion to approve the correct amount for the October town meeting warrant to be determined by the chair after checking with the finance director.
And to reserve 10% of the fiscal year 2026.
Yes, and to reserve 10%, where is it, of the budgeted reserve for the fiscal year 2026.
Second.
Okay, does anybody have any questions or comments? I know it's a little unclear, but we're essentially setting aside 10% of the total budgeted amount for fiscal year 2026. 10% into each of the categories and the remaining amount into the budgeted for reserve fund. Any questions or comments on the motion?
Do we know how this compares to last year?
I think
all?
it's so this amount is based on a little less than 16, it's a 15.9% estimated amount from the trust fund. That's what the finance director has been told. I think last year they estimated 10%, and then it ended up being closer to 20. And so we make that correction later in the year.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to say very similar. Okay, any other questions or comments on that motion? All those in favor, Tad?
Aye.
Aye.
Mary
Mary?
Wigan, aye.
Lynn Barbie, yes.
Brian Hyde, yes.
Michaela, yes.
Yes. And I am also a yes. Thank you for that additional information, and hopefully we can get this worked out. Okay, so September has traditionally been the month when we do our annual meeting, and that's the meeting that is open to the public, where we're asking them to give us some feedback on what the priorities of the CPC should be. Our next scheduled meeting is September 16th, so I'm going to assume that we're all good with that and schedule, no, you're not going to be here.
I won't be here.
You'll be crashing the car in Italy.
I had September 15th as a select board meeting.
Right?
16th.
16th.
Oh, you said 16th.
16th,
Sorry,
yep,
sorry,
yep.
sorry.
Would that be
16th.
enough time to put in the newspaper?
Yeah, it's a month. Oh, it's a little less than a month, yeah.
But that's enough.
It's enough,
time.
it should be
Okay.
enough, it should be enough time.
16th, okay.
So
I'm
it's the
fine
16th.
with that.
So-
I don't know, I'm checking.
It's our regular scheduled meeting anyway.
It's a regular scheduled meeting. We're just going to have the addition of a public meeting, and we do want to do some advertising. Oh,
Do we
geez,
want to
this is-
start at 6 or 6:30?
Is there a problem with 6:30?
No, not for me.
I think 6:30. I think we probably get a little better turnout if it was 6:30, give people time to get home and get here.
Last year, I didn't do a PowerPoint presentation. Do you want me to do a PowerPoint presentation this year? Of the things that we accomplished in the year.
If you would like, I will not commit to that in any of our advertising, but if you have the time and would like to put something together.
If you get me the real numbers for everything,
Yes,
then I
yes,
will.
which I will have to do, because later on in the agenda, you'll see that our CP3 report is due, which usually the board secretary does. So we have to take care of that, but I can work on that. What I'm looking for really right now is some volunteers to do some advertising around
Oh.
this annual public hearing. So in the past, we've had a flyer that we've posted online and physically hung up in places. So we have that, and then I have a list that needs to be updated. There's definitely some change has happened on some committees. This is a list of outreach that we've done, just sending people, mostly town hall, department heads, committee chairs, and then some other community partners that in the past have either applied or we think would be eligible. We need to send a press release to the enterprise. We need to get it on the town's Facebook and webpage. I'm assuming that's Christine Willander, but it used to be Terry. I'm assuming Christine has taken those. A PSA, we can send this to Channel 8, to Mashpee TV, and ask them to do it. So, who wants to do that?
Well, I'm happy to fix the flyer,
Okay, well, yes,
because, well, I mean, it's got Kathy's already.
yeah, good.
And get it around to as many of the public buildings as I can find, I get into, and any bulletin boards that might post it.
Okay.
Yes.
I will send that to you in a Word. I will try to fix it, but I'll send it to you in a Word form or in a document form so that you can do. I'll do the email blasts.
I think the email blasts, especially to the internal, is really important. And Jessica sends that, that list of meetings coming up. She's, to all the chairs. And so I think she has a nice
Oh, right, okay.
new
That's a good idea.
chair list and list of all the chairs of all the boards and committees. And I'm sure she'd be more than happy to send it out on your behalf or let you use all those emails.
It's a great idea.
And Chris Ball's been putting things on Facebook as he gets them for
On
TV,
his, right.
which is good.
And John Miller is something like I don't know, a frequent poster on Mashpee Message.
Oh,
Like, everybody follows him, so he, as town moderator, you could ask him if he could.
okay. I have Housing Assistance Corp., Habitat for Humanity, Native Land Conservancy, Friends of the Wildlife Refuge, the Housing Authority, quasi-town. Anybody
I'd
think
send
of any
the,
other?
Tribe.
Yes,
Yeah.
Tribal Council,
You said Housing Assistance Corporation.
Housing Assistance Corp., yep. Anybody think of, if you think of,
I would do the 300 committee,
okay.
because
Okay,
I would do Barnstable Land Trust. I'm trying to think of places that we've partnered with before.
Do we have any ideas of people who might be ready to come to this? Have you heard any conversations like, oh, I have a project? No?
oh, well, not because of, I did get, somebody came into town hall to ask about submitting a project. They wanted it on the October town meeting. Of course.
It wasn't even
So,
October yet, so why
it
not?
was, exactly,
It
so.
wasn't October yet.
I communicated with that person, I told them the deadline is November, you know, that, at first he was anxious to get it to us, I said it didn't matter if he got it to us today or before November 1st, that it was still going on the Maytown meeting, and I obviously did not hear from them before this meeting, so I think he's still thinking about it, I'm not sure that's for sure, but I have not gotten any other inquiries or, no. Because that's our next item on our agenda, is to advertise our application round. So we can obviously do that at the meeting, but maybe right after the meeting, we want to just kind of do the same email blast, letting people know that November 7th is the deadline for applications for May 2026.
So on that ad for the public hearing, we should note where they can get an application in the next deadline.
Okay.
That's an excellent idea.
Yeah, and we've had applications available at the meeting if people are here specifically for that purpose, or
And what exactly is the deadline?
November 7th, 2025. That's the first Friday in November.
Okay.
Is it 4:30? It must be 4:30, right?
This is usually the larger
Okay.
round of requests. I know last May we had six requests. Yes, Richard?
A couple of weeks ago, I sent you an email regarding the food pantry at Christ the King. Is that just dead in the water, or?
I mean,
It's for basically
sure,
interior fixturing. They're building a new facility.
yes.
They're trying to raise well over $2 million. They've got a good portion of it, but they still need money for interior racks and stuff like that for their food pantry. And a friend of mine is very active at Christ the King. And we were talking, and I didn't know if it would fit into our realm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't ever want to make that decision by myself, so my advice always is to submit an application and we can
Okay.
review it. I personally don't see a fit, you know.
What category would it be?
Yeah, I don't,
Well, but my same question would be, what was the category that the resurfacing of the Boys and Girls Club come under? What did the high school come under?
I think those are recreation,
Okay.
even though they're not, I mean, the school is,
Don't
but,
throw a pickleball court on the roof.
Plus, you can't use, and you can't use recreation for anything that has 4 walls and a roof.
No, I know that.
Is that what you just said, Brian?
no,
No.
he said put a pickleball court in on the roof of the food pantry and then we could. Yeah, so, I mean, I don't see a fit, but,
Okay, then I'll just drop it.
yeah, But again, I don't like making those,
That's more of a human service
yeah.
application. So,
Right, the food bank does get money from the Human Services. So I don't know if we have generally a set amount that we give out, divided up, but they could certainly talk to Gail and see if there's
Gail
some
and
way
see
to
if-
adjust that.
yeah.
Okay,
um,
okay, that's it.
Because they're looking for like building, things that they need to do for the renovations.
Right.
Not just like more food, right?
Right,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, this is like construction. I mean, you could suggest they come next month to the meeting and they could hear more about CPA, so CPC, they understand why they don't fit in, or find a way to nuance it so that they can fit in, but, that would be a good start for them to come to the meeting and get more information. Or they could take our word for it.
I think they're just going to take our word for
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So this next item on the agenda, open space protection, is something that I put on the agenda because I wanted us to just discuss solidifying the legal protections of any open space land that was purchased using CPA funds. CPA does require a deed restriction, a conservation restriction on all open space property. There's a discussion topic going around town right now about the town using open space for another purpose, and there's no legal protections.
Point of order. Are we going to, is that on the agenda, or are we?
No, I'm not going to talk about that parcel.
Thank you.
I'm just saying
I
that,
just wanna
that
violate
brought to
open
my
meeting law.
attention that we might want to check the status of all the parcels that CPA or Land Bank has purchased to make sure that there actually is a conservation restriction recorded. My recommendation would be to work with the open space plan to do that. I think that they'll be going through the list of every parcel that is considered open space in town, and they can do a preliminary review to determine, we can ask that deliverable be added to the open space plan to check that, and then if we find out that there was not a conservation restriction recorded, then that would be another step that we would have to take to get some legal assistance. Yes?
Would that have to go through the planning department? Or would we have to go through Brian Tobin and go through every parcel and find out the open space and the designation of that open space? Plus,
Point of order again. Are we, I don't mean to, I just don't want to violate open meeting law. Are we talking about open space provided by CPC, or are we, if we're talking about something else, I think we're not, I don't think
She
that's
said-
our purview.
I think you said
Well,
land purchased by community preservation.
Yeah, I mean, I'm specifically talking about that, but the way to review that would be part of the open space and recreation plan, which we provided the funding for, and since we provided the funding for, I thought we could ask that one of the deliverables in that plan would be to determine if a conservation restriction has been recorded on the parcels which have been identified as CPA or land bank purchased parcels.
okay.
If you look at a previous open space plan, that's usually done. There's a list of parcels and it tells you how it became open space, either through a grant fund or a purchase, or, all the past plans have included that. So I'm expecting that will be part of this plan, but, I think we should take the extra step to ask that happen.
I move that we authorize the chair to forward that request to the town manager and the lead staff person working on the open space and recreation plan, which is my understanding to be the town planner, Brian Tobin.
Yes.
So that's my motion.
I'll second that motion.
Great. Is there any further discussion on that motion?
I'm still
we
confused,
requesting a list?
No,
Or we requesting the actual, whether the restriction is on it? That's what we're looking for, right?
We're looking for whoever does the open space and rec plan to make sure that this is part of their scope of work.
Right.
Okay.
Say that again.
For the CPA and land bank parcels.
So this,
So we're asking, we're staying under the purview of CPC and land that was purchased through CPA funds.
For sure, and I mean, the land bank.
That's my
And land
question.
bank.
Sure, sure. The
Thank
land bank parcels were rolled over to CPA when land bank disappeared and we adopted CPA, so those parcels
Correct.
became, our purview as well. So yes, those
Thank
parcels.
you for the clarification.
Yes, just those parcels. That's the only parcels that we would have any
I appreciate the clarification.
any connection to or authority over, or, I just want to double check, there's things that sometimes fall through the cracks.
No.
So I have a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? I'll take a vote. I'll start this way.
Yes.
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 Mary Wagon, yes?
Yes?
Yes.
And I'm a yes as well. Thank you. So I'll start with the town manager. When we get to our liaison updates, maybe we'll know who is working on the open space and rec plan. So some old business, I think I've mentioned this before. I was working with various town staff on trying to create a program coordinator job for this committee. Even when we had a board secretary, I now know for sure how much extra work she was doing beyond being a board secretary. And I just think it's prudent to have a correct job description and employee in that position. So I learned that that town meeting does not need to approve a part-time job, so it doesn't need to go to town meeting. Because that was the rush, and HR is very busy, and they were getting stressed that we were trying to get it done to get it on the warrant. So I reviewed a first draft from HR and commented on it, and I have not yet heard back from her. There were just a few minor things. I've been told there's not a lot of room in town hall for somebody to actually be here every day, and one of the items mentioned, arriving to the office on time, something like that. So there were just little things that needed to be tweaked, and so I will continue to follow up with her, and it would make me very happy if we could get that done sooner than later.
Thank you for doing that.
Hold on.
How would it be funded?
What?
How would it be funded?
With CPC admin funds.
With that fall?
Yeah.
We have enough in the admin?
We do have enough. I mean, it's a 15 to 19 hour a week job,
Part-time, yeah.
so maximum of 19, flexible for months, weeks when there's a meeting, maybe they need to work a little more, some weeks not less. So, our board secretary was always funded out of CPC funds as well.
Okay,
So,
but-
this will bump that up a little bit, but
They would strictly be just working on open space and going through.
no, this position would be doing all the admin work for this committee. So,
Good luck.
yeah.
Right, so it's the minutes, right, it's writing the articles.
Writing the articles, keeping the accounting up to date, keeping the status report up to date. There's 22 years of filing that is a disaster. There's 22 years of lack of online documentation, available documentation that's not paper. So, CP3 reports every year. There's a report we have to send to the state. Every project that comes in, every invoice that they send needs to get reviewed and signed off on, which is, I'm doing right now. It would be nice to have somebody who
Supposed to be
can look at the
contracts.
scope of work and,
Yeah.
yeah, so, it's a lot of work.
So who hires this position?
It's a good, Is
Is this like that's what I'm confused.
Yeah.
It'll be funded by
Yeah,
CPC. Would CPC
yeah.
have to go to town meeting to get approval for the fund disbursement?
No,
Okay, so we can just,
because it's a part of our admin funds, so we have $50,000 in admin.
yeah.
Each year, so we wouldn't have to do that. One of the changes I asked to be included on the job, I suggested being included on the job description was noting that it is a grant-funded position. you never know that
Yeah,
CPC could
the
go away.
funding
So
source would definitely
funding
be
source could go away, and, or the funding source could, the rules could change around the funding source. You never know what's gonna happen, so,
So for
I think it's
the
important that-
town planner, I'll let you know what happened with the town planner, right? There was a selection committee of 3
to hire.
that interviewed candidates, and it was the director of HR, somebody from the town manager's office. It happened to be Wayne, it probably could have been Rodney, right? And then the chair of the planning board. So we interviewed, and the HR has like standard questions they ask for each position. So you don't make up your own questions going in, you have the same questions you ask all the candidates. And then you rate them, and you send that, what we did was we sent that memo to the town manager.
No, I understand that as
Okay.
an employee,
Right.
but
It's
is
an
this
employee.
a town employee, or is this like a
Yeah,
10, no,
I mean, the board secretary is a town employee
Town-
supporting our committee, right?
So it would be focusing on a town employee.
Town
that
employee.
would
Be
CPC,
dedicated, would be
funded
considered
by
a program coordinator, but
CPC.
funded by CPC. Yeah,
Did we pay for Kathy's
We did.
time for
We
us?
did.
Oh, okay.
we
Yeah.
did, we
Because
did. It
if you
came
get
out of,
a- If you get a part-time employee at the planning office whose responsibilities included the CPC,
that would be very
we
nice.
funded that would be more appealing to the other side of the table, you know, I mean, the town side. And I assume the town would like to have another additional part-time staff in the planning office.
Well,
If we funded it, and their part of their job responsibility was to maintain CPC, everything,
and let them do other things as well?
something, I mean, it's a win for the town. I just don't, do we need a 19-hour-a-week person? I mean, I don't know.
Probably not, I would think probably not every week, but, I didn't wanna.
They
I want a
can't
little
go, they
flexibility.
can't go over
Can't go over 19,
or
or to be
else they
considered
start to be a union position.
Or full-time and benefits. You never know, like, November when applications are coming in and there's a lot of little extra work to do, you just want to give them a little bit of flexibility. It would be nice to combine this person with a completely different task that wasn't funded from CPC, a housing position or something, but one step at a time. One step at a time.
Or a secretary for the Human Services Committee.
Consider it.
But anyway, I'm
I
kidding.
said, consider it.
No, thanks. I have enough jobs.
Well, I do think that initially, there is all this backlog.
There
I
really
mean,
is.
Because I know how hard it has been to try to get all of the minutes in to the clerk's office from all the human services when it's been, there was years' worth.
Yes.
And they have to have it a certain way, and it has to be signed. I mean, it's,
Mm-hmm.
you have to do it the right way. And the filing,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, Kathy started adding additional information to the status report, just matching a warrant article to an application is a big process right now of going to multiple different locations, on the town website and hope that you can find it, as opposed to there being a dedicated CPA file folder or on the town's network, and then also in paper. It'd be nice to have everything all right there. As we see, as staff changes and as people change, a lot of historical knowledge goes with it, and we really need to improve this, so.
I would just say that, not to be greedy, but we should say this is a CPC, because I know that they're always short-staffed to have secretaries on various committees. They're always looking for. Recording secretaries.
Board
like one,
secretaries.
And so I think it would be fine if that person could contribute to that, but, you could get caught up in something where that turns out to be 18 and a half hours that week, that month, and then we don't have it. So we just have to, I think, be clear about.
Oh, this is gonna be a person totally dedicated to this.
Priority. for-
Oh, it's only CPC.
Okay,
It's not gonna be a board secretary anymore, it's gonna be a program coordinator.
Okay,
I don't know,
okay,
I don't even
okay.
remember if there was a job title on the, only CPC.
Okay, okay.
They are not gonna go to they're not gonna be in the pool of board
Okay.
secretaries.
Thank you for working on that. That's a
great
lot of
idea.
work.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just going to switch up these next two items a little bit. They're very related, the project status report and the liaison report. So I did go through the project status report to look for projects that were still open that maybe we could close. I don't have a lot of updated information. I sent out a bunch of emails and did not yet get a response. So the Quashnet Playground, I don't know for sure. I emailed Catherine. I don't know for sure that she's absolutely complete with that. I don't know if Baker Landing is absolutely complete. Hopefully by our next meeting, we'll have that information. Richard thinks that Breezy Acres is complete.
Breezy Acres was complete because, if I recall, back in April or May, you signed off on the last, I think it was $17,000 on that.
Mm-hmm.
Now.
Are
I
you
don't-
confident enough about that we could take a vote tonight, or do you want to check with Kim?
Kim was on vacation last
Okay.
week, so.
And you won't be here next month? Okay.
If you drive by, it looks very finished.
It looks
Yes.
like finished.
I would say.
And they did say at a meeting that it
Yes,
was
it
completed.
is completed. The one I wasn't sure about was, you were talking about
Holmeyer.
Holmeyer.
Mhm.
I
Holmeyer.
don't even remember what they were supposed to do to Holmeyer.
I think it was the roof.
That has not been done,
No, not at all.
no.
No, wow, okay.
Okay.
So other older projects on
The other
here.
one
The only other older project, there was the
The bog,
Parsonage House, as you see on Route 130, the tribe, we awarded funds to the tribe, the yellow house, that's,
right?
so I did email,
But that's,
the tribe about that and have not yet heard back. It
That's
doesn't,
almost-
certainly doesn't look complete, but
that's almost 2 years old or more.
yes, yes.
So that would be David Whedon's
Yes,
department, right?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Yes, I did it, call in, I mean, I sent
Treasurer
it.
is Fenton.
Okay, I can ask the treasurer. yeah.
So they had, it was a recent election,
Yep.
Fenton, I forget his last name.
Yep, he's the treasurer. Well, the
But,
person
I-
who came in with the agreement was Carlton Hendricks, the vice chair, but he also has changed, so.
I'd try
I'm
Fenton if you
okay.
could track him down.
Yep.
And let's give Fenton a little bit of a test. and see what- I have a feeling that that will be resolved quickly.
They're unhappy to.
Yeah, I mean, the projects take
Do you
time.
wanna
We
call
know
him,
that, but we,
Lynn?
I can, yeah.
So Arden.
We'll follow up on-
and we'll-
I'll do that,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember that there were all sorts of, the reason they came back
yes,
to our meeting was because they wanted to move it forward and it had been
yes,
stalled.
right.
Oh, I remember that.
That was,
We were in the basement when we
yes,
had
we were in the
that.
basement. That was a documentation issue, so historic preservation funds CPA requires a historic restriction, but the tribe is not able to execute a historic restriction because all their land is in trust for them. So town council found an alternative way to satisfy that, and that's what we took care of that night. But as
remember
far
that.
as them withdrawing any of the money that they need, that, I don't know what the status of that is. So that's what we're, and then the one other older project is something called Waterways Extension. It was funded in 2019 for $144,000. There has been absolutely no activity on that.
What was it?
I don't know. Ashley Fisher spoke to it at one point.
Is that Ken Bates?
I think it was potentially
That was the
studying
Waterways Committee.
Waterways Committee,
Remember,
yes.
Brian, Ken Bates came in,
I thought that was for Charles River, the gun club down
something
there.
to do with dredging.
I think it was something to do
There
with
was a
dredging as well.
hole in the budget. There was private funds, county, it was all, yeah, that's Ken Bates.
So, shall I give them one last jingle, or shall we close the
Probably a
project?
file somewhere.
I mean, it doesn't really matter, I just want to know whether,
You
they've
think-
had 6 years, should we
Do
close
you
the
think
project?
Don Thayer would know?
I mean, we know what the,
Should we put limits
Yes.
on some of this? I mean,
that's,
it's to the
6 years.
point of, my feeling is the
Yes.
open permits that Mashpee Commons has, it's 40 years old,
Yes,
and they're building on them.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
yes. And we talked about having a contract with everybody.
Yes.
And then you.
But this
you-
is
you-
so
you-
old
it-
that-
It, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
But
but I
like, things
mean, give it-
expire, and then you can extend them by mutual agreement of
but I-
both parties,
but I
right?
think if we put a limit on 2 years, I think is
You know,
sufficient for somebody to act upon what they're asking for. Or to at least get back to the committee at that particular time and give us an update
So,
within a 2-year period.
according to the website, our website, Ken Bates is still on the Waterways Commission, but I think it was him. Do you want me to try to track
You
that down?
can, you can
Okay,
give them
I
a jingle
will.
and say, you know, it's been 6 years, we haven't heard anything, is this project still active?
Could you just give me the title of that again and the
Uh,
amount?
Waterways Extension, the commitment was 144,000, and it was funded in 2019.
So we already in 2019 gave them $144,000.
Well, we committed with the, no money has
then-
been exchanged. They do not have the money. We made a commitment to the project for 144,000. So that money is, you know, sitting,
Available to
it's not
them.
available to us, but it hasn't been dispersed to them.
Right, okay.
I shall find out.
Mary, I have his cell phone on.
Oh,
I'll give it to you
okay,
after the meeting.
afterwards. Thank you.
And then we have our active projects, so this is more the liaison report. So we have our active projects, and I'll tell you what I have as a record for liaisons, and then we have a couple of blanks. So the Affordable Housing Trust is Michaela. Homemeyer Village is Richard, so you might want to check in on them about that. The Santuit Bog Restoration and the Quashnet River Restoration are Sandy. The historic cemeteries, I'm going to say,
Say that again?
I can send it to you. Santuit Bog and Upper Quashnet River
Oh,
Restoration.
Sandy. Oh, you said- I thought you
Sandy,
said
Sandy,
Handy.
Sandy, sorry. The historic cemeteries, I mean the second allocation of funds.
Yeah, I
You know what I
have the
mean?
cemeteries and the War Memorial, I thought.
Yep, yes, and the war monument is Brian as well. A Shumet Pond, Heritage Park upgrades, I've emailed Catherine about that, that's the,
Is that the shed?
yeah,
Not the
I'm trying to
shed.
think of the word, concession stand.
Concession stand, thank
Concession
you.
stand.
Replacing the
Actually,
shed,
I mean, we're probably walk over
right?
there
And
every
it
day, I don't
replaced
know
the
what it
shed.
Yeah.
Would
knew there was a
Mary
shed in
Bradbury be very current on that, because
No, Catherine,
only Catherine?
yeah.
But Mary could look out her window and see if anything.
Yeah,
has
no,
changed.
Catherine.
Okay.
Catherine keeps track of the money.
Who's doing that?
I've already emailed Catherine Laurent about it to ask her
Okay.
where it stands. Ashuma Pond Restoration, I don't have anybody as being a,
I think I had that.
you do?
some-
Okay, you might have sent me an email about, okay, that's great. Open Space and Rec is Mary and Judy. Judy McDougal, she's a member of the committee.
And thus the email to me about that, so yeah.
So that's Open Space
So I
and
put
Rec.
out an email and I haven't heard back
Right, to Brian.
to Brian
To Brian.
today.
Great, yes. 475 Nathan Ellis Highway, Lynn, you had signed up for that. I took the Boys and Girls Club, and I was going to say that they told me a couple months ago that they had to postpone for a little bit doing the basketball courts because they missed the opportunity and summer camp was too busy. But I saw on Facebook today that it's under construction.
They started.
They've started, yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So they have started. So the Boys and Girls Club is under construction, and I bet they're hoping it gets finished quickly. Leclerc Playground, you want to do that?
Also, there's just a
I can
sign,
do Leclerc Playground.
there's a sign up there that they're gonna start the teen center,
Instantly, yeah.
Yes.
right, that piece of property that's right next to the Boys and Girls Club. They're gonna build that other building. Did we
Yeah.
help with that?
No, we didn't. There was a big event and fundraising around it, and there was actually it's a really wonderful story. There was a volunteer at the Boys and Girls Club, an older man, and he just surprised them with $2 million.
No.
$2 million.
That's right, that put them over so that they could start the teen thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
It's only the kid.
So what was the other one that you had started after the Boys and Girls?
Leclerc Playground.
Oh, Leclerc, okay.
Brian has the War Monument.
And who's that? That was.
Michaela is going to do that one. Chop Cheeg Storage Barn, Richard thought he wanted that?
Yes,
Good.
I did speak to Ava, and she said they were still in negotiation with the engineers that were working on it.
Great.
Okay.
And then Mashpee Wakeby Boat Ramp Stormwater Project. Anybody anxious to take that on?
Yeah, I'll do it.
And that's all our current projects.
And that would be, you suggest Catherine Laurent for that
Yes,
one?
as Catherine is coordinating that, yes.
Because that was also state engagement somehow.
That's what it
For
was.
sure, I mean,
Yes. That's-
my understanding is, I don't know that they have all the funding yet even to move
Okay.
forward, but
Yeah,
State was
I
supposed
could be
to
wrong.
be doing a good portion of that also.
right, right.
Okey dokey smoky.
yeah, so
Could we get a list of that?
I will update this now that I've got everybody's name on it and send it to all of you.
Appreciate that,
The
thank you.
HPP is done.
Oh, that was another, I did ask Brian about the HPP.
It's done.
It's done, but he didn't think that the funds would be dispersed until town meeting voted on the HPP. Is town meeting voting on the HPP?
It's not on the warrant, is it?
Oh,
It's certified, it's done.
It's
It's
done.
not on the warrant.
No, it's not.
It's finished.
Not unless there's a version.
I'll ask the town accountant about the HPP.
He said that the
I can't
county or
believe
the
that.
state had accepted it, right?
It was submitted to the state, and the state approved it, and
That last bit of work done by the consultant?
Yeah, was out of the-
Was through the county's
Right.
regional shared housing office.
Yeah.
We got a budget of 30 hours. And so I have a feeling that Barrett Planning had already been paid by the town for
I
that portion.
would expect that because
Yep. So I think our account is done, is closed.
I'm going to just double check that with the town account. Well, I just want to make sure Barrett was paid before we close that, so we can do that next week, next month. Yeah, so if I hear back from Catherine that these are complete, we'll have a bunch of projects to close out. I'll find out if there's any balance left.
oh, I see, you close them out.
We
and
close
then
them
if there's
out.
Any
Balance, it goes back into
Oh,
the.
okay.
Yeah, which is
Thank
why you don't
you.
want to leave it floating too long, because then the funds aren't available to us.
Okay,
Because
thank
they're,
you.
you know, they're sitting there, so we want to close it. But if we close it, they can make no further, they can submit no further invoices, so you really don't want to do it before you're sure that they're complete.
To follow with what Richard had mentioned, didn't we say at some point that we would include in the future in some kind of at a certain timeline, that we'd have a report back, if not, I mean, you said something about 2 years, but I don't remember, like, even if it's just an email saying whatever, we put it out to bid or something, to have something where it's expected by whoever's getting the money that they report back within a timely fashion, whatever that timely is.
So there's a report
1 year?
There's a one-page report that the state put out there for affordable housing trusts to report, what money they spent in that fiscal year and what they spent it on. So I can bring that in. It's a very simple report to do. And right, and it's a one-page thing,
Right.
yeah.
And
I
then
can-
you're
I-
suggesting that we provide that to all of the awards that we've?
So, right, so like at this time every year, we're getting ready for our annual public hearing, which we should report on our accomplishments.
Right.
So in August of every year, we should send these out to all of the projects that are open and ask them to complete it for the fiscal year that just closed June 1st, June 30th, 2025.
Right.
And see, everybody's closed their books, so they should know, it should be easy for them in August
to
know
report
what
on
they-
that.
So why don't we have a motion?
Well, wait, let me just, I feel like that is ambitious to expect people to remember to, but if the liaison could be
Yeah.
that point of contact,
Yeah.
if,
I'll bring the form in for the next one and we can
yeah,
look at it.
and, I mean, you could be the point of contact, you can ask them those questions.
And we have a program
Or have,
coordinator who
have
can
an
send out the
update, no,
email.
have an update
Yeah.
no later than July 30th.
Yeah,
If they're
I don't think-
closing their books out and they're working on a project, they know if they are working on it or they're not.
right.
And by July 30th, they can give us, or even August 15th, give us,
Right.
you know, a status on it.
Yeah, that is great, and I think if each liaison could do that for their own project, then
At least we'll be at, right.
one
we'll-
person, you know,
Okay.
then we're not, you know, just do that for your project.
Until we get a program coordinator.
Until we get a program coordinator, and then the liaisons will be set free.
But so are we going to create our own document based on,
I've got this form that the state uses.
okay.
Yeah.
It was so easy, even I could fill it out, and I don't have much.
I mean, I don't think, I mean, most of them probably are gonna have very little to say.
It's
not-
got like the name, the fiscal year, the person doing the reporting, the phone number.
I mean, some projects are more elaborate than others. You know, Leclerc Village, for example, it would be nice to know, you know, you want to know how many units have been leased up, how many, you know, some information. And then there's some that are so simple,
It's a
historic
private
cemeteries, the work was
address.
done, you know?
This is,
Yeah.
this is
We
extremely
can continue to work on this, but for the time being, if you can get that information as a liaison, and then maybe we can turn that into a simple report that we can ask people to send, projects to send in. Asking them to come in if there's little to report, I think, is a big ask.
Yeah. Right. I will commit to having a universal form
Okay, great.
for us all to
Okay.
use.
Communications and correspondence. I did receive an email from the coalition telling us that our CP3 report is due. That's essentially what, all the projects that we funded in the prior fiscal year, so I'll work on that. Additional topics. I was going to ask Michaela if there was anything she was able to share with us about Pickerel Cove.
I don't think there's anything I should share at this moment.
Okay, great. So there was an executive session item on last night's select board meeting regarding, oh, I can't even look at Richard when I say that, regarding Pickerel Cove, so, but it's not yet ready to be reported out in public.
Funny.
Hold them down.
Yeah, I think that's a fair statement. I think we should wait.
If anybody has received a conflict of interest training email,
Oh, okay.
if you got it, it means you have to do it. If you didn't get it, it means you don't have to do it. The state is keeping track, and they will contact you directly, so
I did it recently.
good for you.
If you've already taken the open meeting course,
This conflict, I think
Conflict of
conflict has to be
interest
done,
different, yeah.
how often? Every year?
Regularly.
Every 2 years.
2 years.
Right.
yeah, okay.
And then for the conflict of interest, you just have to acknowledge that you received the law.
An open meeting has to be done, not every
I
year.
don't, I don't know if we,
Oh, no,
did-
conflict of interest is a training, sorry. That's the online line.
there's an
I
online
think the conflict of interest, I mean, all right, so the open space is just that
Open
you
meeting?
received it.
open meeting.
Open meeting.
Meeting is just
I
not.
don't think
space.
so.
We need open space training.
All right, I'm
Yes,
done.
yes.
Done.
Yeah, I think you get a document, you read it, and you sign that you received it, and, but the conflict is like a, you know, online
training,
questions.
that's the
Right, it's a
online.
training.
Right.
It's a test, actually. It's more than a training, it's a test.
It is a test.
It is a test.
This year I did 10 out of 10.
Good for you.
Last year it was pretty bad.
Does anybody,
I have a
yes?
short announcement.
Yeah, that's great.
After that horrible incident in Fall River with the fire at the assisted living facility, I was informed, because I talked to people about human services stuff, that the fire department did meet with the
Our
residents.
fire department.
Our fire department met with the Asher's Path and the Asher's Path group, and the fire department did do a walkthrough at Homeyer, and my understanding from the brief contact I had passing in the hall with the chief, he said he was going to do up a report, because I was very concerned about Homeyer, because it's very old. And they, as far as I know, they don't have sprinklers and a lot of stuff. So, but I was very reassured that they were on it, and I gathered that Lori Nelson in the senior center was one of the ones who said to them, you know, please do some follow-up with this, because
Great.
because they, and I gather they do have fire drills, but I don't know when they have them and what's happened, you know, how they work that out. But yes, because it was pretty scary stuff.
You know, as often these unfortunate tragedies lead to code changes, building code changes. That's when you start seeing things change. But that's great that they're are on top of it. Does anybody else have any additional topics? So don't forget to spread the word. September 16th, public hearing, fabulous PowerPoint to watch.
That's right.
Short, fabulous short PowerPoint.
It's a real draw.
Yeah, so we're going to be recorded every meeting.
We don't have a power.
I don't know that we'll ever be live, but we're always going
I
to be
did it
recorded.
myself last year, 'cause-
Motion to adjourn?
Second.
Whoa. All those in favor of adjourning?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. That was, you pulled